Hi friends, welcome to episode 76? Nope, 77 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadir. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. Let's see if I can remember the date. Today is Thursday, March 21st. And I'm coming to you from my home in Central Florida, where as you can see it's another sunny day, and it took me like 10 minutes to find a good angle to sit so as to not have you guys being blinded by the light. Blinded by the light. Right. So, I would like to say thank you to all of our subscribers, all of our returning viewers and new viewers. I just noticed, I think last night, we hit 4,000 subscribers. What? It's 4,000 of y'all. Hi. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate being able to come and chat with you guys and talk crafty things and life things and whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Is there anything else I wanted to say at the top before we get into admin? I don't think so, but I have one of the pups out here. Kiva is out here with me today. Tootie wanted to stay in the house, so you may hear her barking because she forgets I'm out here, and then suddenly she hears somebody talking and she's like, who's in front of my house? But Kiva is over there sunbathing and it's really cute. Yeah, that is everything. So let's jump into some admin. And the Pisces season make-along is over. I'm excited that it's over because I feel like that was a whole lot of engagement for me. But I'm glad that I did it. And I'm super excited that you guys like participated and enjoyed it and like used the hashtag and the chatter thread and the finished objects thread, and it just so excited. So before I started filming, when I was writing up my show notes for today, I did go ahead and do the random drawings for the prizes. We have 2 winners from the finished objects thread, 1 from the chatter thread, and 1 from Instagram. So the way that I did the random drawing, I used random number generator online. The finished object thread, there were 102 posts. So I did from number 2 to 102, so not including mine. The chatter thread, there were 318 posts, so I just did 1 through 318, especially since the first person in the chatter thread was not me. And Instagram, when I went to the hashtag on Instagram, it said there were 224 posts, but because sometimes I don't believe technology, I went and manually counted, and it came up to 202 actual posts, and I'm assuming the last 22 out of that 224 were people who had posted multiple pictures under the same post. So I just did 1 through 202 for the actual number of posts that showed on the hashtag. So let's call out some winners. So anyone who is a winner, if you are a winner from the finished objects thread or the chatter thread, you can just send me a message on Ravelry with your full name and your mailing address so that I can mail out your prize. And then for my Instagram winner, you can, if you're on Ravelry, you can send me a message there, or you can just send me a direct message on Instagram with, of course, your full name and your mailing address so I can send out that prize as well. I think that is everything. Let's get into it. So first up, finished objects. Like I said, I did the random number generator. The first number that came up was number 20, and that user is Emily Marianne. I'll put it down on the screen. If this is you, congrats, you are our first winner. Send me a message with your name and your mailing address. This is a picture of her finished object. So congrats, Emily. The second winner from the finished objects thread is number 54, and that was Bunnyfish, who is Heather. So congrats, Heather. You know the drill. Need your info so I can send out your prize. And this is a picture of Heather's finished object. So that's the winners for the finished objects thread. Next we will do chatter. And chatter, I already explained this to you. I don't have to keep explaining it to you. Random number pulled number 289, and that was Little Ming Knits. And I don't think it had their name on their Ravelry profile. So if this is you, congrats on winning. The post that was pulled was actually a picture of their project. So I will put that picture up here so you can see it. So congrats to Little Ming Knits. And then the last but not least Instagram winner. That one pulled number 103. And that is user Lydia Ty. And this is a picture, or this is what she posted. So you are our Instagram winner. So thank you to everybody who participated. Thank you to people who donated the prizes. I really do appreciate it. Like each of the winners will get a ball of yarn or a skein of yarn, as well as a Quirky Monday Crafts bag. So that's everything, guys. Oh, I did my first make along. Yay! So that's everything that I had to announce about the make along. One last comment I wanted to make. Lydia, that top that you made is amazing. And if it's gonna be a pattern, let a girl know. So that is everything for the Pisces season make along. Again, thank you guys so much for participating. Like, I honestly didn't think that people were really going to get excited about it like you guys did, and it was really validating. So we're gonna do this again. This is gonna happen again. The next part of admin is going to be our Bright Spots segment. So just like last week, I will insert a video here of me sharing some of your bright spots from the comments last week. We do have the Bright Spots thread over on Ravelry, so if you want to share there, you can, or you can share in the comments down below. Just let me know that it is a shareable moment, and it could be one that's featured on the podcast. So I will go ahead and insert that video here. Hi friends, hopefully you can hear me. I am sitting outside my local library, not the one that has all the cool sewing stuff, my like local, like down the street and around the corner library. But I'm here to read the bright spots. All right, so I've pulled how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are from the comments on last week's episode. The first one is from Chris. And Chris said that their bright spot was buying someone's lunch at Cracker Barrel the other day. Next we have Julia. And Julia said, my positive moment to share is that on Saturday I traveled to see my 92-year-old mom and give her a pair of hand-knitted socks as she has very fragile feet. She loved them so much, we ordered enough yarn online to make 5 more pairs for her. Guess I'll be knitting for the next couple of months. That's really sweet. Next bright, excuse me. The next bright spot is from Locks, Knots, and Stitches. It says, I finally got brave and went to the knit night in the new place I live in. It was great. They were positive and a very open and welcoming group. Plus, this yarn shop is so inclusive to crochet. That it's so awesome when you get, like, you go into a yarn shop and it's like not just knit stuff. Like, I was recently in a yarn shop and I looked around and literally every single thing hanging from the wall was knit. And it made me think, like, how can I help you guys get more crochet up on this wall? But I had already done a lot of peopling and didn't want to ask. But the last one is from Jenny, and it says, I wanted to share a positive moment. I had a really long talk with my mom, nothing big, just catching up, when I actually called her for something quick. I'm glad it was long. I can totally understand that. I call my mom almost every day. I haven't talked to her today, so I need to get on that. But yeah, it's good to be able to catch up with loved ones. So those are the positive moments that I was sharing today, and I will send you back off to your regular video. Bye. Okay, we're back. So I have a few finished objects to share with you guys, and yeah, you guys probably can't even hear that for real, and I'm just like making a big deal over like the little teeny bit of wind that you probably can hear. Watch it sound like a howling mad storm when I go back and edit this. So let's jump into finished objects, because obviously the wind is not going to participate with the podcasting. So the first finished object is one that you can see in the background here. This is a watercolor painting that I did actually like the 19th, so like the night before the Pisces season make-along ended. And I framed it in one of my thrifted frames. I kind of have a problem where I buy these like brassy, like old school brass frames all the time. Like whenever I see them in the thrift store, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna buy it. So I have a huge collection of these and I just love them. So that is the painting that I did. I used watercolor and just kind of went it down. This like bleeding and like feathering it did at the bottom was completely unintended, but I love how it looks. Like, I love that. But yes, refuse to sink. It is our sentiment of the day. If I had my letter board out here, the one that I normally have like up behind me, it would have said refuse to sink, because this is something that I have been like telling myself over the last couple days. To be honest, I've had a couple stressful weeks. You know how it goes. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But it's just important for me to remember that I do have a lot of control over my actions. Sometimes when I get down, like I'm just down. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing necessarily that happened that caused the downswing, and you just got to ride it out. In those times, I always tell myself, if it can swing down, it can swing back up, because that's science. And then there are some times when there are things that happen and I look at them and I say, this is the reason that I am feeling down. And in those times, I have to actively, take actions to not let the downswing get as down as it could. if that makes any sense. Like I have to actively refuse to sink. So that is why I have painted this one, because on the day that I was painting this, it was a down day and it was a rough day, and I just kept telling myself, refuse to sink. Like you just gonna have to tread water, homie. Like treading water is hard. I don't know if you've ever been in a swimming class and had to learn how to tread water, but yo, that is difficult. And treading emotional water is just the same. Like you get to the point where you feel like you just can't do it anymore, and when you get there and you realize, if I stop doing this, I'm gonna sink, and if I sink, there may be no coming back from that. There may not be somebody who can reach in and pull me out, you know. So you just have to grit your teeth and keep on treading that water. Keep on keeping your head above water. Like this was me that day, just but today I've been up and down. I've kind of been bouncing like really hard. Like in this present moment, I'm feeling good. Like I think an hour ago, I was like, I'm just not going to do anything today. I'm just going to stay in the bed. This is what it's going to be. But that's one thing I really appreciate about doing this podcast and kind of having like the responsibility of recording these videos, is it gives me something, it almost keeps me accountable, you know, for something, you know. And I appreciate that. So you guys are helping me stay up. So thank you for helping me. So that's our first finished object. The second finished object is the mofo from last week. They are my movie socks. Ta-da! I forget which one was the first. Oh no, this was the first one. So this one was done last week. This is the second one that I was like to here last week. So went ahead, did the toe. They're super long. I cannot wait to wear this because they look like they're going to be crazy comfy and cozy, and I'm really excited about it. I have like a smidge left from each one of the balls of yarn that I used, and I think it's probably enough for like a cuff, like each one for a cuff. So I probably will do that. But if you are new and this is your first time watching, these are plain vanilla socks. I did 60 stitches on 2.75 millimeter needles. The yarn is Patton's Croy FX in the Calla Lily, or it's either Calla Lily colors or Calla colors. It's Calla Lily colors yarn. And the first sock has flax at the top because I was being fancy. The second one does not because I didn't care. And then both of them have flax for the heel flapping and heel turn. But that is them. They don't exactly match, which is really interesting. Like, yeah, no. I guess they could line up right here, but then all the rest of the sock absolutely does not line up. So, but I really like them. I'm glad that I finished them, so now I can wear them. My next finished object will show you the other mofo that I had from last week, and that is this baby. Oh, hello sun. I don't even understand where the sun is coming from. Like, it's over there, but it's shining in so many different directions. I think you can see it. I'm like peering through like the lace. Okay, yeah, that's good. So this was the amount that I had finished in last week's episode. So all I had to do was the straps, and this is what I ended up doing for the straps. I did 3 rows of, I think I did half double crochet. I think 3 rows of half double crochet, and that's US terms, and a row of surface crochet with the blue like across each strap. And this is the Sunburst Tote by Nomad Stitches, and that is Sandra Gutiérrez. Uh-oh, that could be wrong. Hold on. Yes, Sandra Gutiérrez. I used Fibra Natura yarn. It was a cotton linen blend. Again, I cannot remember what the actual base name is called, but I really liked it. This seems like it's going to be a nice like throw on, carry stuff in the summer kind of bag. I love the size. It's not too big. Like, I'm a big bag lady. I love carrying huge tote bags, and I will fill them up with like 17 books and a computer and then be wondering why my back hurts. So this one, it's big enough to carry like stuff, but not so big that I will fill it to the brim. I am still considering lining it. We'll see. I might just leave it like this and just put anything that would fall through the holes in something. Like, I mean, I make zipper bags. I should just make myself a small, like, all the things little zipper bag and put that in there. So yeah, I really liked it. The only thing that was like not uncomfortable, like there was nothing uncomfortable about the pattern except for Kalisha evidently couldn't read. But using this yarn, and I haven't used any cotton or linen in a very long time, and I forgot how drying it is. Like, I had to keep putting, like, not even just regular lotion, I had to bust out the shea butter and coconut oil on this thing, like, just to keep my hands moisturized enough to be able to grip the yarn. Otherwise it was just like drying my hands out and sliding through all willy-nilly. So yeah, finished object number 3. Finished object number 4. And y'all, I'm so excited that these are finished. And you're gonna have to excuse the dog hair in them, because dog hair is like glitter. I finished them and I put them on and I took pictures, and then I ran into the living room to show Lamar, and now they're full of dog hair. My Kia socks are done. These are the Kia socks pattern. This is a pattern by Dawn Henderson, also known as Dawn.Landix on Instagram, and they're done. The yarn is Queen's Yarn Boutique in her Firestarter colorway. Sidebar, Queen's Yarn Boutique is currently having a sale in her shop. I want to say it's like 20% off for spring. Everything is already marked down. There is no coupon needed. Like, I was over there scrolling last night like, what yarn do I need in my life right now? But she's got some really awesome new colorways as well. So yeah, go check her out. Anywho, back to your regularly scheduled programming. This is her Firestarter colorway. At first, like, if you were a viewer when I first started these, I think I started these in January, I don't know. When I first started them, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like the way that the pattern plays with the yarn. Like, I thought that they wouldn't work together, like it'd be too busy, but I really like it. And then I think it's so cool how you can see like how the pattern like shuffles up the colors, but then how the stockinette is like, but this is what it really looks like. And that's so cool. So this is the first sock. I can tell because I did a garter stitch heel and randomly forgot to garter stitch on this one row. And this is my second sock. The only thing I have left to do on these is to weave in the ends, but you know, that may not happen. But I do need to go and like reinforce the little corners. Wait, this one. Let me show you. Like, that's like one thread. I don't know how I did that, but that needs to not be like that, because I'm not trying to have my sock like wear through and my heel fall off and all kinds of other shenanigans. We don't need that. Nobody needs that in life. So yes, these are done. I love them. The heel is really cool. I think I might start doing like garter stitch heels on more things. Pattern is super easy. It is a free pattern. Is it? Yes, it is a free pattern. It's available on Ravelry. Dawn actually did come out with a new sock pattern called the Lynn socks, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself on the screen. But those socks are really pretty as well. So they're probably going to be another like make 9 diversion project like these were. But yeah, so finished object number 4. Guys, I feel like that's the most finished objects I've had on a podcast in a minute. Yay me! Oh, Kiva, do you want to say hi? That didn't look like a yes, but it also didn't look like a no. You want to say hi? Yeah, okay. Oh, come here. Ugh, I'm wearing shorts. It's going to be painful. Come here. Come here, you little sausage. Ugh. Oh, hi. No? You look uncomfortable. You didn't want to come up here? You just wanted to be taller. You just wanted to see over the bushes. I feel so used. I just wanted to be taller. Thank you. Alright, guys. So that is everything for finished objects. The next thing I have is my one work in progress, which is living in my patchwork bag. Did I make this for my birthday? I don't remember. Yes? I think I did. I did. It's my patchwork birthday bag. Am I disturbing you? But this is okay. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm podcasting. I have to talk. You're squinting your eyes. Stop looking into the sun. She's like, it's right. Weirdo. This is the Prairie Wind Shawl by Jayalakshmi MH on Instagram. I'll put, as always, there's links to everything down below. But this is a pattern. It starts off, oh gosh, I need more hands. Help me, Kiva. You don't want to help? Rude. It starts off with stockinette, and you know, it's got like the nice little spine up the center, and of course it is a triangular shaped shawl. It's going to be all stockinette, and then the edging is a lace that makes hearts. It's like heart-shaped lace is what I'm trying to say. But this is the project that I carried with me and that I started on Lamar and I's 9th date anniversary. Our first date was on St. Patrick's Day, which if you're a longtime viewer, you would have already heard me say that multiple times, which is why there's like random clover things and stuff like that. That's why. But our first date was on St. Patrick's Day 9 years ago, and this year we went to Busch Gardens, and this is the project I took with me. And it was really good because, you know, you're just knitting and purling, throwing some yarn overs in there every so often. But yes, I am enjoying this, and this yarn, which is like so gorgeous. It is Oh Lucky You by Mitchell's Creations. Yes, Mitchell's Creations. Yes. It's Oh Lucky You by Mitchell's Creations in the Fleur sock base. So it is Superwash Merino, nylon, and stellina. Let's see if we can get some stellina action in there. Can you see it? Not really. What if I get some sunlight on it? Nope, that's just the light shining through it. Well, believe me, there's stellina in there. You can see a little bit of it right there. And it's gold stellina, so I'm feeling like very fancy, y'all. So, yeah. So I was knitting on that during our date-iversary, and I'm really enjoying it. This is a free pattern as well, available on Ravelry. Jaya has a lot of patterns available, and a lot of different shaped shawls, which I think is really cool. So the way that it's written is very clear. I really do appreciate that. So I can definitely recommend her so far, provided I have only gotten through the stockinette part. So we'll see if I'm still like, heck yeah, when I get to the lace. I have not done, have I done a whole lot of knitted lace? I'm gonna go with no, because I can't really think of anything. I've done some, but I think this is gonna be like my biggest knitted lace project yet. I feel like I'm lying, but at the same time, I think this is true that I am saying. Is this the truth, Kiva? You got dirt on your nose. But yes, loving it so far. Yay. Oh, this is the yarn. I should have just done that because you can see the stellina in that better. But this is the yarn. And when we were at the park, I had this like, here we call them fanny packs. I don't know what they would be called overseas, because I know that fanny is not a nice word overseas. So yeah, but here we call them fanny packs, which is like a pouch that wraps around your waist. But I had one of those that I got at Target. It was green and it said shenanigans, and I was like, obviously I have to buy this. So I kept my yarn ball in there and like my little pouch with my quarters and pennies, because I collect pressed pennies, and I can't go anywhere if there's gonna be a penny press machine without a whole bunch of quarters and pennies, because you never know. I had that. I had our like external phone charger and like, I don't know, something else in there, like my cell phone in there in my little pouch, and like knitting out of the pouch. Felt all fancy. But yes, it was a good time. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, my only work in progress. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, so that will take us into maker plans and stash positions. The only maker plan I have is I've kind of been like overtaken with the desire to make lounge pants. And yes, that is a very random thing to be overtaken by. I have no words. I just want to make lounge pants, and like it was kind of like in the back of my mind of something I wanted to do, probably because the sewing classes that I was talking about last week, one of them is like make your own lounge pants, and I was like, I don't need to go to a class to do that. I can do that on my own. That's probably where it came from. But I went to Joann's. Okay, no, let me back up. I was watching the Dabbling podcast with Laurell, and I got all kinds of enabled. Like, why you had to do me like that, Ro? Why you had to do me like that? So she showed this fabric that she got that was like this like the snuggle fleece. So like not like flannel, but not like fleecy. It's like in the middle, and it was like all these colorful little sheep. All right, you're stabbing me. It was all these colorful little sheep, and they, like, some of them were knitting, and I was like, I want that fabric, I must have that fabric. So I went to the store and they didn't have it. Like, I went up and down the Snuggle Fleece aisle and I could not find it. But what I did find was that all the Snuggle Fleece was on sale for 60% off. And then I found this one. Duh. Like, there's absolutely no way I could walk past that and not get it. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get, I'm gonna have lounge pants in this. Like, yes, please. And like, it has a bunch of my, okay, not a bunch. It's got 1, 2 of my favorite constellations on here. Well, it's kind of funny. Pisces is actually not one of my favorite constellations. I just so happen to be a Pisces. But Orion and Leo are both on here. Orion, Leo. Yeah, and that's the only 2 constellations that are like my homies on this fabric. That's the upside down part. Those are the only 2 constellations that are like my go-to constellations. Like, walk outside and look up and I'm like, there my homies are. But I love it anyway. So that's gonna be a pair of lounge pants. I almost bought another pattern for lounge pants and I was like, Kalisha, you have to have one at home. Like, and if you don't, I'm sure that it's like really simple to draft a lounge pants pattern. Like, it's just like straight lines and a curve for the crotch. I could be wrong, but luckily I won't have to do any drafting because I do have a lounge pants pattern already. And the second fabric that I found was this one. They're not knitting, but they are so cute. I'm gonna make this one. I don't know if I want to do this. I only got 2 yards of each one of them. And the pattern that I have, you can make the lounge pants out of like, it's like 2 5/8 yards. So I'm going to be a little bit short, which I'm sure I can fudge it because this is a whole lot of fabric. But I'm like, do I want just lounge pants out of this? Or do I want like pajama set? Like, do I want a top and some shorts? What do I want in my life out of this fabric? I do not know, but this is definitely going to be pants. This, we're not sure yet, but it's going to be something that I wear on my body and I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much, Laurell, for being such an enabler. Yeah. And my friends, that's not the end of the enabling that I received from watching the Dabbling hook. Oh no. Oh no. She went on to talk about how she went to Michael's and the Karen Pantone yarn was on clearance because they are rolling out a new brand of Karen Pantone yarn. The first one was a bulky weight and it was like acrylic, nylon, and merino. The new one is a worsted weight and it's acrylic, nylon, and bamboo. And I said, I want to touch that. I want to have some of that. Even though I have not used the Karen Pantone that I bought before when this first came out, and I was like, I want to touch that. I want to have some of that. So of course I went and I got some. It was on sale. Thumbs up. No, it wasn't. It was not on sale, but I had coupons. Just telling lies. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to lie. It just happens. No. So these are the Karen Pantone bamboo ones that I got, and they are, this one is tropical fruit and this one is hopeful. The details: 60% acrylic, 20% nylon, 20% viscose from bamboo. They are classed as a number 4 medium, which is like a worsted weight. You have 100 grams and 180 yards or 165 meters. So when I picked up these two, I just really liked the colors, and then I realized this. So what I'm going to do, or at least where my mind is right now, is not get a paper cut, to create something that goes through the whole progression of the colors. And I might take one of these out so that it'll essentially be just like this. I don't know, because I don't know what all I can do with just two of these. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that the colors overlapped like that, which of course gives me more yardage to actually create something else with. I wonder if this is enough to do like a shawl or something like that. Maybe. We'll see. But my aim, since I have not opened up the original Karen Pantones that I bought when they first came out, I am going to crack into this ASAP, because I can't just have stuff chilling in my stash for no reason, like just because I bought it because it was pretty. We don't have space like that. So yeah, that's not everything I got for Stashquisitions and Maker Plans. I bought one more thing. I got this from Joann's in the clearance section. So Joann's has, or they had like this line from Lord DIY. She's a YouTuber. She makes stuff. I think she's Canadian. But she had like lobster clasp charms that were just begging to be progress keepers. So I have a ton of those. Like, they went on sale for like 70% off, and I was like, yes please. And then she had like kits to make bracelets and like all this other kind of stuff, right? So when I was in Joann's getting this fabric, I walked through the clearance section and they had these, which are like pins and patches kits, where they give you have two patches and where you have two patches and an enamel pin. This one I wanted because of this patch. This is DIY Queen, which yeah, it me. And the little scissors are really cute. I'm assuming Moosey is her dog. I don't know. So that's probably going to go to the Goodwill, because I'm not part of the Moosey fan club. But I'm sure Moosey is a good dog. And this actually looks like a blend between Kiva and Toot. So if it was just the dog, I would keep it. But since it says Moosey fan club, I feel like I would be like pretending I'm something I'm not. Be true to yourself. I'm going to keep these two, and this one's going to find its way to the Goodwill eventually. But they were on clearance for I think $3. So yeah, I need to find something to put this DIY Queen on. That is everything for Stashquisitions. I didn't pull anything for Black Fibers, Black Threads this week. I will probably get back on that next week. And is that everything crafty I have? I think that's everything crafty. So we can chat a little bit about life and whatnot, which is one, before I get into the 9th date anniversary trip that Lamar and I took. I finished the 5th book of Harry Potter, of the Harry Potter series. What is it? Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Oh my Lanta. I have never wanted to pimp slap a Harry Potter so much in all of my readings of these books. Now, if you're a new viewer, I have never read the whole series. I read, I think, books 1 through 3 when I was in middle school, and then my mom was like, no, I don't want you to read that because you're going to think you're a witch and try to cast spells on things. And I was like, no, but you know, you're in middle school, your mommy says you can't read these books, so you can't read the books. Now I'm a grown up and I said, Mom, I'm going to read all of the Harry Potter books because I'm a grown up and I do what I want and I pay taxes. And she was like, okay, whatever. Also, we went to Universal, like in the Harry Potter, what is it, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And we're like riding on the rides and stuff. You know, everything is like, it's like you're immersed in everything. Why is my mother asking me questions? Like, Kalisha, what is this? I don't know. I didn't read the books. Rant over. So, I finished reading book 5. Umbridge, she got off way too easy. Like, way too easy. You just get to run away? Like, you just, really? Where was her punishment? Does she get punished in book 6? The first chapter of book 6 needs to be Umbridge getting flogged in the street. I don't know. Like, strung up by her toes by, what's that guy's name? Filch? Something. Like, I need more punishment for Umbridge. Like, seriously. Also, I think I was just like generally irritated at the end of this book. Like, okay, I understand that people are like, all right, Harry's a kid, but people is trying to kill him on a regular basis. Like, y'all need to give him a little bit more information. Also, Harry, chill out. Just take a chill pill. Like, he needs to just woo-saw, rub your ears a little bit. Like, were these the feelings that you had the first time that you read, like, the 5th book of the Harry Potter series? Is this normal? Are these feels normal? Because I feel like I don't have any words for that. I haven't even started the next book yet because I'm a little bit traumatized. I'm trying to like drink this tea to calm myself down. Like, okay, we're good. So, Harry Potter rant over. We're good. We're calm. We're collected. So this past Sunday was St. Patrick's Day, and it was also me and Lamar's 9th date-iversary, and yeah. So we went to Busch Gardens, which I was really excited about. I had a great time. I will put in some footage. I'll put in some footage of some of the things that we did. We went and this was my second time going to Busch Gardens, like in ever, I think. The first time was like, I don't know, 4 years ago. So this time we wanted to make sure that we saw like all the animals and everything like that. And because it was St. Patrick's Day, they were having like St. Patrick's Day parties for the animals. So we got to see the St. Patrick's Day party for the chimpanzees and somebody else. Was it the gorillas? I think it was the gorillas and the chimpanzees. So their party essentially was, they put together these like pots of gold, and inside it was like a paper bag. Inside the paper bag they had like kale and like I think romaine lettuce was in there, and then they had these big shamrocks like made out of construction paper, and inside the shamrocks were like frozen bananas and like other kind of treats for them, right? And they spread them out all over the enclosures. So when they let them out, of course, they went like running through, like tearing up everything. Oh, one of the things that the keepers had done was they took this green crepe paper and like decorated, right? Man, them animals came out, it was just like, yeah, stuff, new stuff, rip it all up, yeah. It was like a whole bunch of 3-year-olds running amok in an enclosed space. It was kind of great. But yeah, so we got to watch that. It was really cool. We saw orangutans, and one of them like had a baby with her, and it was the cutest little thing. Like all you could see was like its little eyes, and I was like, ooh. We saw the lions, which were sleeping. When we first found their enclosure, they were sleeping. And then the male lion got up and he was just pacing back and forth. And I was like, I don't know what he's getting ready to do, but it's about to go down. But he just kept pacing back and forth. We saw tigers, which tigers are one of my favorite animals. And it was just really cool, like, to see them. One of the things that we like in the different enclosures, or not enclosures, like the different places where you can look at the animals, they have like videos or like information things that tell you about, tigers or whatever animal that you're watching. And one of the things that it was saying about tigers was, the graphic that I was reading was talking about how powerful their hind legs are, which allow them to jump like super far. Like, I think one of the things was saying basically a tiger, like a good jump a tiger can do is like the length of a school bus, which is insane. But after reading that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then we were watching the tigers in this one side, and there were like different layers or different levels in the enclosure. Like the bottom had some water that they could play in or walk around in. We saw one peeing in the water. I guess that's fine. Use your toilet. Then it had like this section that went up a little bit, and then there was like a level over here, and then there was like more level here. So between this level and the water level, there was like this kind of wall that went straight up like this. And like, say if the wall is the height of my hand, the tiger was like that tall. This tiger walked up to this wall, looked at it, and was like, and just pew, jumped from standing up the wall. I was like, these animals are amazing. What else did we see? We rode the little train that goes around the park, and we saw giraffes, we saw some antelopes, we saw some wildebeest, and I was like, you killed Mufasa! And we also saw some bongos, and I put up a picture of bongos because the picture I took I wasn't ready to take the picture, so the picture's out of focus, and I was a little bit bummed about that, but I'm put a picture of a bongo. Alright, so that's a bongo. When Lamar saw it, he goes, oh my gosh, it's a Deerbras! So if any of you have ever watched the stand-up of Kevin Hart, he has this one like segment where he is talking about like how he was like coming up with a lie to be late for work or something like that, and he starts making up this story about how he was driving down the highway and he got stopped because there was a baby in the road, and then something happened and he saw this animal that got loose from the zoo, and it was like a mix of a zebra and a deer. He was like, I don't know, it was a Deerbras or something. So bongos look like a mix of a deer and a zebra. Deerbras Are Real. So like I was cracking up at that, like the whole time we were just riding past the bongos. Of course we did see zebra or zebra. Every time I saw a zebra, I thought of what's his name? Trevor Noah. He was talking about how that animal is pronounced zebra, and we're not allowed, we being like Americans, are not allowed to say it's a zebra because we can't name them because we don't have them. So every single time I looked at that animal, I was like, zebra. So this is what goes on in my head. You're like witnessing firsthand. And the last, there's like so much other stuff that like we could talk about. Like we had a brownie with ice cream on it, and Lamar told the lady, like, we got this brownie like close to the end, like the closing of the park, and she was like, or Lamar went up to the lady and was like, I would like the brownie sundae with like a ton of ice cream. And it was like the lady took it as a challenge, and legitimately the pile of ice cream on that brownie was the size of my face. And I was just like, when Lamar came walking over with this ice cream that was this tall, I was like, what are we supposed to do with that? And he's like, eat it. He's got the illest sweet tooth in ever. But I think the most transformative life experience that I had at Busch Gardens on last Sunday was feeding the lorikeets. Is that what they're called? I got a pin because it was that deep. It says I fed the lorikeets at Busch Gardens, and I was terrified. I'm going to put the video in at the end of this because I'm sure you will get a kick out of it. But these birds are like this big. They're this big. Like I'm a full-grown human. They are this big. And I was like, certainly this bird is going to attack me. It is going to flip me down and take my money. Like these little birds were like, and okay, so it's like this enclosure that you can go in, like all the birds like flying free, having a good old time. And you can get like little cups of nectar. The cup is that big. Nope. It's like that big. So that big around, like that deep. And you're supposed to hold the nectar with your bare hands and walk into this enclosure with these birds. Now, I didn't know that I was scared of birds until this day. Don't you love being able to discover a new fear when you're 33 years old? It's just delightful. So we walk in, and Lamar was holding the nectar, and he goes, "Here, Kalisha, you do it first." And I was like, okay. And he's like, "I'll film it." He's trying to act like he's trying to get vlog footage. I'm on to you. But so he's filming me, and I'm holding this nectar, and the lady, like the keeper who was at the door, was like, I said, well, is there anything I need to know? Like, are there any like safety things I need to be aware of? Like, what do I need to do in case things go bad? That's the way that I think, right? Like, if I get bum rushed by every bird in here, what do I do? Do I just throw the nectar up in the air and curl up into a ball? What needs to be done? So she goes, well, I just recommend that people just walk over by the ropes and the birds will find you. That's all the information that she had for me, guys. Walk over to the ropes, the birds will find you. So here I go with my little nectar, and I'm walking over by the ropes, and here come this little bird hopping down the ropes. He was looking at me out the side of his eye like this. So I was just like, you guys will see in the video, just look at my hands. Look how terrified my hands are. My face is also terrified. And then I had to remember there are children here, and you can't look like this is the worst thing ever when there are little children who want to experience this. You will terrify the kids. I tried to calm my face down. Lamar was like, smile. I'm sure it was like a grimace. I tried. So I successfully fed the lorikeet. I'm proud of myself. And then, I gave the nectar to Lamar, and then I filmed him. And like he fed the same bird that I was feeding. And it like hopped over to his hand and was eating the nectar. It was really cute. I was cool as long as there was not a bird on me. I was like, this is great. Keep the birds over there. This is wonderful. I will film everything, getting all the angles, Then he hands the nectar back to me, expecting the bird to come with the nectar. And the bird was like, nah, I'm good. Like, this bird went, I'm telling you guys the whole video that you're about to see, but he hopped up Lamar's arm and was just chilling on his shoulder. Like, I like it here. You're my new best friend. So Lamar just walks off with the bird on his shoulder. And then there were some other shenanigans that happened, which I will leave for you to discover on the video because I don't want to spoil it. Yes. So we walked in the little enclosure a little bit more. We had more of the nectar. So like some other birds jumped on to eat out of my hand. And their little feet, they're just so scary and like scratchy and ooh. Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like I need to do this again now that I know what to expect. And like, I feel like before my fun pass expires, I need to go back to Busch Gardens. I need to go in there and I need to feed those birds like a boss. Like, boom, here's some nectar. There you go, bird. I ain't even scared. I will be scared because these glasses are not enough protection. Like, in my mind, I had gotten like all the birds had swarmed me in my mind. So yeah, I fed the lorikeets. I survived. Yay. So I think that's everything. Is there anything else I want to tell you about our trip? No. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool to see all the animals. And it was also really cool to see little kids seeing the animals. Like, when we were on the train, there was this little girl who was like freaking out because she saw a giraffe. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have never seen a giraffe. It's real. I have never seen a giraffe in real life. Mommy, it's a giraffe. And I was just like, aww. Yes, Kiva. You want me to stop talking now? No, you don't get to be the boss of me. Okay, I'll rub your belly. But yeah, so I think that's everything. I'm gonna go inside and get some work done on Quirky Monday Crafts. I'm aiming to have a shop update for this Friday. That may or may not happen. We'll see. So, I mean, if there's going to be bags in the shop, I will let you know on Instagram. All right. That is everything, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being part of my universe. Leave a comment down below of something good that happened to you this week or this last 2 weeks or what have you, so that we can share all the positivity. If you want me to share your positive moment or your bright spot, let me know in that comment. And yeah, we'll go on from there. Kiva is giving me the looks like I'm ready to go inside, Mom. Come open the door. I don't have thumbs and I'm not tall enough. That's what she said with her eyes just now. All right, guys. I hope you have a great evening, great weekend. And yeah. Bye.
Oh Lord. 5 of them, they just waiting their turn. They're not. He just said move. It's time for me to get a little something. Oh, you okay?
They drink fast. You look like a professional.
I watched you.
In my terror. Lamar, you got a new friend.
Oh, you gave me all the nectar. I'm full. I can't fly away.
Ooh, Tootie is gonna be mad.
Yeah, that's Tootie's shoulder.
Look.
I don't have any more.
Look.
You're going on my shirt. Alright, as we make moves, I guess he's coming with us.
I would go for the ones on the road.
Oh, Lamar has a new best friend. Oh, you just got pooped on.
All the...
That was not nice. This one is drinking fast like Tootie eats her food. Like, I gotta get this before somebody else gets it.
Just take the cup. I'm gonna go to your house. I know, I see.
Woo!
How much calmer Kalisha her second time around? When there's not 5 of them surrounding her, looking like the birds.